Okay, so let's jump right in. For today's deep dive, we're looking at this really unique stack of legal and official complaints. They were filed by a Joshua, or Josiah Haltom, against the City of Henderson Police Department.
And it's just a fascinating setup. This is where, very technical legal claims run headfirst into arguments about spiritual and even cosmic law.
So what's the core argument he's making?
Well, he's really fighting on two fronts. First, there's the letter of the law, all the technical procedures he says they violated.
Okay.
And second, there's the spirit of the law, the basic ideas of justice and truth, which he claims they completely ignored.
And this all centers on one event.
One alleged unlawful arrest, yeah. Back on September 29, 2025. He lists everything. No Miranda warnings, illegal search warrants, and the big one, falsification of police reports. He even cites the specific statute TCA section 3916-504.
But the really wild part is how this all started. He claims he went to the police first as a victim.
Exactly. He was trying to report counterfeit currency. He reports a crime.
And then, suddenly, he's the one being targeted as a known critic.
That's the core of his claim. And if you look at the arrests that followed, on October 9, the whole dispute over the evidence is just crystal clear.
Right, the product they seized. Order number 500-00645.
Yeah, which he insists was federally compliant THCA hemp flower, totally legal under the 2018 Farm Bill.
And he had proofs, right. The sources are really specific about the paper trail.
Oh, absolutely. The documentation he provides is, well, it seems airtight. He's got lab reports, shipping manifests.
The UPS labels, I saw that.
The UPS labels, which literally stated, this package does not contain marijuana. This is a UPS-approved low-THC hemp shipment. I mean, it doesn't get much clearer than that.
Wait, okay, so if the documentation was that comprehensive, how on earth did they justify an arrest?
Well, according to Haltom, investigator Heathcock decided it was marijuana just by looking at it.
Just by looking at it. No field test or anything scientific.
Nothing. A visual inspection. That's it. And Haltom argues this wasn't, just a mistake or negligence.
He's calling it intentional.
He's calling it deliberate evidence tampering, designed specifically to justify a retaliatory arrest for manufacture deliver sell schedules of 6.
And that's the perfect bridge from the letter to the spirit of the law argument.
Exactly. The procedures were broken, he argues, because the motive itself was corrupt. This is where it shifts.
It really does. Because he stops framing himself as just a defendant and starts referring to himself as Ambassador Josiah Haltom.
Right, and he argues the harm done isn't just a wrongful arrest. He calls the $300 bail economic warfare.
So he's saying a normal court can't even address this kind of injury.
Precisely. He basically says the secular court is operating under defunct law and that they are now being judged by a higher jurisdiction. He calls it the court of divine equity.
And he's using their own procedural mistakes as the evidence that our earthly system can't deliver truth.
Yes, and it gets even more direct. There's a very recent political angle to this.
The thing with the mayor's office.
Right. On November 22, so just a few days ago, Mayor Terry Bell's office allegedly blocked his email. For Haltom, this is the final proof of institutional bad faith.
So by trying to shut him down.
He argues they've accidentally agreed to have this whole case tried in what he calls a much larger forum of cosmic law.
So to wrap this up, what you have is this really intense legal battle that's, on one hand, grounded in very clear, specific facts, TCA violations, product evidence, but he uses that technical foundation to launch this much grander, almost cosmic confrontation with the state. The legal facts are just the opening move.
It's a really compelling framework. And it makes you think. The source material mentions the coming convergence of Sagittarius energy on December 19th. He says it will trigger a collective awakening. He calls it the three eye apples phenomenon.
So here's the thought for you to take away.
Considering the stakes Haltom has laid out here, what does it mean for the effectiveness of earthly deception when a defendant claims he's not even operating on that plane, but under a standard of cosmic accountability?